Hey y'all, welcome back to All About April. I am so excited that you are here to join me for today's episode. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this episode is going to be a little bit different than what I normally talk about in regards to books, sports, food, showing my nails, my classroom, etc. But side note, get into these cat eye nails, right? So dope. Um, but today's episode is going to be a little bit more serious. Yes, I engage in other topics, but there are some things going on in my life that I also want to share with you. So, yes, I am going to have some lifestyle moments this year as well to share with you so that you can get to know me a little bit better and also get to see that genuine side of me. With that being said, I have opted to make a very, very important life-changing decision for myself. I initially went into this particular thing thinking that this was something that I wanted to do. It was initially a goal of mine, and I have decided to end that journey. What am I talking about? I'm talking about National Board Certification. So, I want to start from the very beginning. I went to LSU a very long time ago. Forever LSU, go Tigers. And one of my goals, obviously, was to graduate undergrad, which I did, get my master's degree, and also become nationally board certified as an educator. I immediately got recruited to teach in Dallas. I got my master's, and thinking about it, I just never saw a need to become nationally board certified in that moment because a lot was happening for me as well in regards to my personal life, and I really could not take on anything extra. Lo and behold, I moved to Houston, and it's still not something that is in the forefront of my mind, and some other things occur, and then COVID occurs, and lo and behold, boom, this opportunity presents itself. And I'm just like, I've always wanted to do this. Like, this is the time for me to be able to attempt it. I had tried numerous jobs. All of those job opportunities fell through. And I will be honest with you, with those job opportunities falling through, there was a sense of sadness and just feeling unworthy for a moment in time. At that particular time, I don't feel that way anymore, but I've ultimately come to see that those positions obviously were not meant for me. God wanted me to move in a different area of my life, and I 100% trusted him to lead me on that path. But of course, I had to listen to that. So I went on ahead when this opportunity presented itself. I hurried up, I jumped on board. I was really, really excited because I'm like, maybe this is something that that this is the path that I'm supposed to be on. So I started it, and I realized that this is definitely like getting another master's degree with the work, but I will say that I do believe that it was a good deal because after teaching for, this is my 18th year, you really get to evaluate your practices within the classroom and be intentional about how you approach certain things, because you want to be, and you want to show them that you are this great, amazing teacher, not just for yourself, but very much so for your students. I went through year one, but I will tell y'all, we were going to be reimbursed after we completed and were certified. So I'm currently paying out of pocket for this particular part, which isn't an issue. I can afford to do it. But as I'm going through this process, the work, it does, require a lot of time. And I will tell you, being on a middle school schedule where I am is very, very difficult because, I have to be to school for 8:20. I don't get off work till 4:20. By the time I get home, and I don't have kids, I'm sitting in traffic because I live in Houston. And, I got to cook. When do I have time to exercise? I have meetings, and I also work a second job. So, to be quite honest with you, I definitely was running myself pretty thin with all of the things that I had going on. So, I completed 2 of the 4 components and had begun the third component in the fall of 2023. But the scores came out in December for the first 2 components that I had completed. And I'm going to tell y'all, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. Just woke up. And this was the day that the scores were released. So I go through my phone, I check my scores, and I'm like, I did pretty good. And I did better than I thought, especially on one part. Y'all, that one part, I was like, oh my gosh. So I was excited to see that, but I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't have any feeling about where I was in regards to this whole process. So I was like, I don't think I want to pursue this anymore. And I was like, I didn't cry. I didn't have any emotions about it. I was completely at peace. And I turned over. I went back to sleep. And I was like, I'm gonna, talk it over with my family and, a couple of my friends, but I know that I'm making the right decision for myself. I had a sense of strong anxiety in completing some of the things. I felt like my time was, like I said, I was really, really pushed thin. Over the Christmas break, I was very sick. And this is how I know that I was pushing myself way too hard, because it was really, really hard for me to even get over what I had. And I did not find comfort in completing this the way that I did when I was getting my master's degree, when I was, when I was pursuing other things. Whenever I complete a contract for my other job, I am so proud. Like, I can't even tell y'all the excitement. I mean, you can see it on my face. I glow. I'm so happy. I did not feel that going through national board. And that was a big reason and why I opted to end my journey there. So I talked it over with one of my friends. She's a therapist. And I'm like, look, I'm gonna step away from the program. I think that I'm done. And she's like, what? Like, you've been talking about it. And I'm like, I do not have the zeal for it that I initially did. And she's like, so how do you feel about it? And I said, I feel at peace. I said, I have no anxiety. I have no stress. Like, I literally know that I'm making the right decision. She's like, you didn't cry? I said, not one tear. And I'm a very emotional person. So for me to be this at peace about something, like, I know I'm doing the right thing. And I remember some of my friends asking me, like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, well, I always wanted to do it. And one of my friends was challenging me, like, that's not enough reason, like, tell me more. And I'm like, I'm telling you, like, this is a goal on my list. I don't need you to, push for anything. Let me do this. I know what I'm doing. But I now understand why, he was asking these questions, because, even my friends know there's a level of excitement that I have for certain things. But this is no shade to the process. Like, I think it's great for anybody who wants to pursue this. I will also tell you, one of the reasons why I opted out was there used to be a 10-year renewal process, and that process has been down now to 5 years. And I just could not bear doing this again 5 years from now. And again, this is me. I'm going to be 40 this year. I want to do things that bring me complete joy. I do not want anything that brings me anxiety, stress, has me huffing and puffing. It's just not for me. And I just opted that my journey has ended here. I crossed the finish line. So where am I going with this? There are so many of us who start things and you think that you have to finish it a certain way. I crossed my finish line at the place where I was meant to cross it. That's it. I do not need to do anything more to complete a journey that other people think that I need to complete. And that is the message that I want to send to someone today, whether it is a job, whether it is a friendship, whether it is a relationship, whether it is a car that's not working. Sometimes we have to end it exactly where it is in order to be able to gain the peace and joy that you deserve. And for me, when I made the decision to at 2 something in the morning that I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm done. Like I knew I crossed that finish line and was at peace. Peace immediately came to me, not a week or two later. That night when I made that decision, and I never second guessed it. Even my mom was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, I said, "I'm positive." And she's like, "Wow, I support your decision because I don't come to decisions that clearly, but I also think that as we get older, things become more clear to us. My frontal lobe is working a bit better now in my age. But again, for anyone who is pondering over a decision, go with it, especially if you are going to have peace from it. There's no reason to stress. There's no reason to have anxiety. There's no reason to shed tears over something that is not bringing joy to your life. So I'm telling you today, if this is where your journey has ended, cross the finish line and take back your peace and your joy, and know that it is okay to end the journey where you have ended it. You do not owe anyone an explanation of why you did not go further than where you did. Trust that the decision that you have made is the best one for you, and know that what is on the other side of this is going to be so much greater. There is power and wisdom in both discernment and obedience. This is something that I have had to learn, and it has taken me a while to get there. I'm getting a little teary-eyed right now. Obedience gives you so much. Learn to trust and have discernment over these situations. Trust me whenever I tell you this. So think about where you are on wherever you are, and just know that your time is going to come when you choose to be obedient and also choose the peace and guidance and wisdom of our God. That's all I have for y'all today. I hope that this lesson it touches somebody, because so many of us, we struggle with these things, but God does not give us anything where we struggle. He gives us peace, joy, and wisdom. And that is what I am going to leave with you today. Let me know how you feel. I hope this blesses someone. And again, this is not a deter from anyone doing National Board. This is my journey, and this is really more so about how I had to be obedient to my God's will, not to anyone else's, because whatever is for me is going to be for me. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't know how much time I have left in the classroom. I believe God could be calling me to do something else outside of the classroom, because my reach is going to be bigger there. And that's something that my friends who questioned me whenever I told them this, that's something that they kept explaining, and I'm starting to lean more into those, because that's kind of the wisdom and discernment that I'm getting. So again, I hope this bless someone, and as you continue on your journey, I hope you listen to that little voice inside and allow it to guide you on your way. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all have a blessed and joyous day.